Hello, Howard here again from Out of Zoo. Today I'm going to do a bit of a demo on freestyle practicing on the use of brush pen. This one is the Pentel Pocket brush pen. So I'm just gonna roughly go over how you get used to it. So you might not be able to catch some of the techniques, so I'll slowly go over it. So since this is a month of October, which is Inktober as well, so I thought it might be appropriate to share some of the tips on how to use a brush pen, as it is inks. Okay, firstly, I usually start off, before I draw anything, I usually start off with some practice on rough paper. So what you can do is just get a rough paper and do this type of exercises. If this is the paper, and this is, let your whole hand rest on the paper and move the tip of the pen this way. Don't lift and do this, because you get tired. So this is to not only rest your hand, but to make it more stable, right? This is the paper, this is your hand, all right? Okay. So hand on the paper, not lifting on the paper. So you go thin strokes. This is like very lightly touching the paper, so you get very thin, sharp, thin strokes. Right, just practice that to get used to it. I'm sliding on the paper. If you can hear the sound, it's just, I'm not lifting my hand. So this is just to practice your control of the tip. Right, and you can cross it as well, I mean, just for practice sake. Right, very lightly. The lighter you go, the sharper, the finer the lines is, of course. So the next one is same. You press it still, your hand on the paper, and you push the tip to make it a bigger stroke. So you just press and then you go like that. Start with thin and then push it down. Thin and then push it down. Thin, push it down. Thin, push it down. So thin, and as you go further, you push it down to make it thick, right? So as you go further, you start with light, and then you slowly push it down harder to get the thicker strokes. Okay, now I'm going to do a very simple exercise. You can do it too. I'm going to draw a few things here which will use this type of strokes. So every now and then you need to sharpen the tip, because when you press it down, it flattens and the tip wouldn't look so fine anymore. So what you do, you kind of like just do this on the edges, just to slowly sharpen the tip, make the tip fine again. So right now I'm just going to draw an apple, a simple exercise. So you start with a very light and thin stroke. This is up to you how you're going to do it, how you're going to do the thick and thin. This one is thin, and I push it down, maybe because the shadow is down there. So now do another thick, thin, and then as you move along, so you get this type of strokes, right? So this takes a lot of practice too, and then you just do a bit of shadows here. Okay, now you do the thin stroke here and the I don't know what you call it. Yeah. Okay, then after that you can just do this for the shape or for the shadow of the patterns on the skin. So when you press it and when you use the side of the brush, you can do this type of patterns will come up, right? So you just dab a bit here and there. So you got a bit of a. So this one I didn't show you earlier is if you're just using the side of the brush, you flatten it this way. It's like as if the whole brush is lying down, but you tilt it a little bit so you can get the full side of the brush, and then you get if you tilt it some more, you get more of these rough pattern. Tilt it towards this way, right? If you press it, just be very dark. Tilt it this way, it'll be lighter. So go like that. So you get all this nice rough patterns which you can use. And I'll go back to the apple. We can just add it, Right? Okay. Or you can. The best way to practice also is try and draw some furry animals. Here I'm going to draw a Ewok. Right? Anybody is familiar with one from Star Wars? So I'll just draw this, the eyes and the nose. So just like how you're doing it, if it's with pressure, the more you press it, it'll be thicker, and the more you lift it, it'll be finer lines, right? So this is the ear. So this is just a cartoony version of the Ewok. I might do a more realistic version once of furry animals. I don't know what yet, but maybe in the next episodes of the Tuesday tips. Oh yeah, welcome. This is the Tuesday tips. Whenever I can, I'll just share some tips on how do I usually use the tools for my art drawings. So it's a good way to practice your brush strokes, right? So this is the shadow of the hood. So this will be. Sorry if I'm mumbling, I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, so this is how you can practice using the brush pen. I've got a little bit of space here. Maybe I'll draw a flower. So just to illustrate, you can, this is without pencils, right? So you need to practice a lot in order to have muscle memory, like Master Kim Jong-gi, or Yoji Shinkawa, to be able to just, from the top of your mind, think of something and imagine it and draw it out. Next week I'm going to try to share some tips about my understanding of inking process for comics. So some of the artists, they might use blue color pencils first, or pencils, and then you ink it in with so this is hibiscus. So this is flower, where you can find in where I'm from, Malaysia. And I believe a lot of countries, they have this flower as well. Places like, Mexico and so on. Alright, so these are the ways you can use to practice the strokes, right? This is the leaf. Right. Okay, so that's about it for today. Next week I think I'll show you some tips on how we can use other brush pens, and to go over the pencils if you're trying to do comics or any other art that uses a pencil first. So I'm signing out for now. I'll catch you in the next video. Happy drawing!